If you're a developer, the whole world of AI coding tools has probably gotten, well, pretty confusing, right? We've moved so far beyond just simple autocomplete. So today, we're going to trace the evolution of these tools, all the way from the reliable assistant to the fully autonomous agent. This should really help clear things up, show you where we are, and more importantly, where this whole thing is headed. Let's jump in.
This quote from a developer just talking online, man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the core problem we're all grappling with. The power of these new tools is just incredible, no doubt, but it often comes with this hidden, unpredictable cost that can just spiral. It's a real tug-of-war between power and predictability.
All right, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to start by looking at the current landscape, which is way more than just autocomplete now. Then we'll walk through three key phases: the assistant, the copilot, and the agent. And we'll wrap it all up by figuring out how you can choose the right AI for you and what this all means for the future of coding.
What used to be a really simple choice is now this complex, sprawling ecosystem. We've got totally different philosophies, from AI as just a little helper to AI as an independent worker, and of course, wildly different price tags to go with them. This isn't just about features anymore. It's about picking a whole new workflow and, frankly, a budget that you can actually live with.
So let's start at the beginning, with the tool that really kicked this whole thing off for most of us, GitHub Copilot. It was the first big step in this evolution, a dependable, predictable assistant that just slides right into your workflow. It really set the standard for everything that came after. And this number right here, 55%, this is a huge reason why it took off. GitHub's own research found that developers using Copilot finished their tasks 55% faster. Now, the key thing to get here is that this isn't just about going faster. This was hard data that proved these tools were way more than just a cool gimmick. But, it's not just about raw speed. The same study found that developers felt less drained from doing boring, repetitive tasks and found it way easier to stay in that flow state. And, this is critical, Copilot came with a predictable, flat-fee subscription. That meant you knew exactly what you were paying each month, which was a huge sigh of relief for individuals and team managers alike.
And this slide just lays it all out, nice and simple. For $10 a month, you get unlimited completions as an individual. Then you have team plans for more control and an enterprise tier with fancy features like indexing your whole code base. But the main takeaway is consistency. No surprise bills, no usage meters ticking in the background. All right, so that's the baseline. Now things start to get a little more interesting and a lot more complicated. The next step in the evolution is what we're calling the copilot, with tools like Cursor and Claude Code leading the charge. They give you way more power and deeper integration, but that brings back that complexity, especially when it comes to pricing.
So with these tools, you've got two different philosophies. Cursor is basically a complete visual IDE built on top of VS Code, so it feels super familiar to a lot of people. Claude Code, on the other hand, is for the folks who live and breathe in the command line. It's a terminal-first agent built for automation and scripting workflows.
And here's the catch. Here's the trade-off. Both of these tools have these huge context windows, so they can understand massive code bases, which is awesome. But they throw that simple subscription model out the window. Cursor puts caps on your usage, which can lead to overage fees, and Claude Code is completely usage-based. This right here, this brings us right back to that developer who blew through $60 in 3 days. The power is there, but the cost is a total wild card.
Okay, hold on, because this next step is a massive leap. This is the latest, and you could argue the most radical step in this whole evolution, the autonomous agent. Tools like Google's Antigravity are a fundamental paradigm shift. The AI isn't just helping you anymore, it's working for you.
The big idea here is what's called an agent-first philosophy. So instead of asking the AI for help with a single function, you give it a high-level goal. The agent then figures out a plan and executes it, all on its own. Your job completely shifts from writing the code to just verifying that the AI did its job correctly. This slide really drives that point home. We are moving from being the hands-on creator to being more of a supervisor or a manager. Your focus isn't so much on the how anymore, it's about clearly defining the what and then checking the results. That is a huge change in how you work and how you think. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, you start by describing a big goal, something like, hey, implement error logging across all our React components. The AI then breaks that down into a step-by-step plan, carries it out across all the files, even using the terminal and browser if it needs to,
And then it comes back to you with test results and screenshots so you can give it the thumbs up. It's a full end-to-end process.
And this user's feedback just sums it up perfectly. The job becomes less about the tiny details of coding and more about clearly explaining what you want and making sure the outcome is right. You're basically managing the AI's work, almost like a product owner manages a project. Okay, so we've seen the whole evolutionary chain. Assistant, Copilot, agent. So how on earth do you choose the right AI partner for your team? Well, it's about way more than just the monthly subscription fee. You have to think about the total cost of ownership, which includes a lot of hidden stuff. These are the costs that don't show up on the invoice, but they hit you hard. Just getting a team started can mean weeks of lower productivity. It can take half a year to really see the full benefits. And if you decide to switch tools, that's another month or 2 of disruption. When you add it all up, the hidden costs in the first year can easily be 3 to 5 times the actual sticker price.
This table kind of brings it all home. It's the decision-making guide. Do you want a simple assistant for day-to-day coding with a stable budget? Or do you need a Copilot for really complex refactoring, even if the cost is unpredictable? Or are you ready to become a supervisor and hand off huge features to an agent? Each one has a different role, a different cost, and a different best-case scenario. So we've gone on quite a journey here, haven't we? From a simple coding helper to an autonomous agent that you literally manage. This whole evolution, it's more than just a change in our tools. It's a fundamental shift in what it even means to be a developer. We're moving away from writing code to managing the creation of it.
And that leaves us with one big, final question. As these AI agents take on more and more of the actual act of creation, is the main job of a developer changing from engineering solutions to, well, managing the AIs that engineer them? The answer to that question is probably going to define the next decade of what we do.